Oh my God.
Alright, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. I know I am, because today I get to look at my favorite type of movie, which is the type of movie where my opinion on it will likely get me flamed on the internet, or people will really agree with me. There's no in between. And what movie would that be other than the original 1973 Exorcist?
The Exorcist.
So apparently back in 1973 when this movie came out, people were crying in the theaters, throwing up, passing out, and then there's me. I watched it on my couch with 2 bags of pizza rolls and a gallon of iced tea, and I fell asleep. I didn't actually fall asleep. I'm not here to shit on this movie, because I understand how much this movie means to some people, and realistically how much it means to the horror genre as a whole. Going into this, I just want to say I'm not here to just kick The Exorcist down and completely disregard everything that it has done to influence the horror genre to this day. That is not the point of this video. The point of this video is for me to do all those things I just mentioned, but be a little nicer about it. You'd think someone like me that loves the horror genre and just respects it and dedicates so much of my time and life to it as I do, you would think someone like me would absolutely adore this movie. And there was a point in time where I did. When I was a lot younger and I saw it for the first time, this movie genuinely scared the hell out of me. I believed it when it said all over the VHS cover. My grandmother had the VHS of it, still does I think, and I used to steal it all the time when I was younger and watch it with friends. It literally says on it, the scariest movie ever made. I used to believe that through and through. Like, it was the scariest thing I'd ever seen, her head spinning around. I had never heard language like that before, but growing up, and now that I've seen so many different things and completely desensitized myself and seen some of the most horrible, unimaginable shit, whether it be in movies or just on Reddit or LiveLeak, I just feel like I've seen it all at this point, and this is why I'm making this video, is to talk about why this movie doesn't hold up for me as much as maybe it does for some other people, or as much as it kind of advertises itself to. So let's talk about why this movie scared the hell out of people back in 1973. You have to think about the time when this came out. In 1973, horror movies were not at all like The Exorcist. They were B-movie monsters or haunted houses or things kind of like that. So when a movie like The Exorcist comes in and says, imagine if the devil possessed your 12-year-old daughter, that's blasphemy. For 1973, that's blasphemy. And you have to consider the fact that religion was still such a huge part of daily life, way more than it is now. For audiences at that time, it was not the fun scary. It was like, am I going to hell for watching this type scary? Another thing that definitely contributed was not, I mean, the marketing, of course, advertising it as the scariest movie of all time, but the film itself is shot, I don't want to say like a documentary, but it has a really gritty realism to it. Like, it's got handheld cameras. There's certain key points in the film where they don't really use music. There's no score to go with it. So when you're watching it and you're hearing all the sounds as opposed to just key dialogue and then rising suspense music like most movies, you get to really hear everything and every creak in the room and the atmosphere. And I think that contributed to a lot of people feeling immersed and feeling like they're really watching or being involved even in a fucking exorcism. The sound design is actually one of my favorite parts of this movie, because there's, you know, subtle demonic whispers, there's animal roars, and just backwards Latin, you know, kind of buried in the mix that the audience may not have noticed consciously, but their brains certainly picked up on it. People weren't just watching this movie, they were daring each other to watch it. It became like a half horror movie, half fitness test just to see who could get through it. I had a few friends who don't do well with horror movies that did watch this, and you swear to God they had jumper cables strapped to their nipples the whole time. But other than a select few reactions like that with people who aren't familiar with the horror genre and just scare easily, like one creak in their hallway, they're up and cruising around the house with a knife and flashlight. For me, The Exorcist doesn't really hold up and it's not scary anymore. One of the big reasons for that is the fact that we've seen everything by now. Demonic possession, demonic voices, priests yelling out, "The power of Christ compels you!" It's all been copied, parodied, and memed for 50 plus years. So what used to be groundbreaking has now just turned into horror 101. Today's audiences are just so used to found footage, psychological horror, jump scares, you name it, that when you take The Exorcist and compare it to The Conjuring or Hereditary, it just feels like a slow burn. And the shock value has just kind of worn off at this point. Like, an average Tuesday on Xbox Live is a child yelling slurs and obscenities, but when you put that on the big screen, let alone a little girl in 1973, that was blasphemy, that was unheard of, that was the leather belt. It feels more like a drama at times than a horror. Most of the movie is about guilt and faith and regret, rather than just straight up scares, which does make for really good storytelling, but you get to someone of my age group, maybe even a little older or younger, and you can't really identify with it. Like, my grandmother thinks this movie's fucking terrifying, but she also is relating to the conversation that these characters are having and can identify with them a lot more than someone in my age group could. I do want to give some love to this movie as well, though, because even though the whole, the title and whole theme of this video is talking about how it's not scary anymore, like I said in the intro, I never want to undermine how influential and important this movie is to the horror genre as a whole, and I think it does deserve a lot of love and respect, and I think it is cemented as one of the greatest horror movies of all time. So to back that up, I do want to just point out a few small things that I do genuinely like about the movie and think hold up really well. One of which, the biggest thing for me, one of the biggest things, is the atmosphere. To this day, it's still creepy. The dimly lit, cold rooms, the, just random creepy ass noises that happen, it really does build a sense of dread and make you feel like anything bad could happen at any time, even when nothing's happening. It's just the characters, having normal banter and drinking tea. The devil could pop up and just murder one of them. The performances sell everything, which I know is the case for all film. Like, you need good, strong acting and dialogue, but this movie does it so well. And I gotta credit Linda Blair for being so young and doing as well as she did, because while her scenes may not, her possession scenes may not outright scare you and make you jump, they're unsettling, and she commits to the bit so well that you have to respect it. And at such a young age, she does such a great job. I want to end this on a really, really positive note and talk about what I think is the most important part of the movie as a whole, which, I've sprinkled it throughout this review and said it quite a few times, but I mean it when I say this film's DNA is everywhere. Every possession movie, all the way from The Conjuring to The Pope's Exorcist, they all owe something to the original Exorcist. It's like the Smells Like Teen Spirit of the horror genre. Maybe overplayed, but it changed everything. So I gotta give the original Exorcist a 6 terrified boomers out of 10. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I really was looking forward. I've had this one planned forever, and I've been looking forward to doing it. I just had to make everything line up and make it work. So I really hope you enjoyed it. Tell me what you think of The Exorcist. Do you think it's the scariest movie of all time, or do you think it's overrated? Let me know in the comments below. We can go down there and fight about it. And yeah, I will see you guys next week for another banger. It's going to be a good one. Not going to say anything yet, but I'm excited for y'all to see it. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Keep it creepy.